Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be how the narcissist draws you back in. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please subscribe. So I'll jump right in. Many times when you are trying to remove yourself from the toxic narcissistic relationship, or when you have removed yourself from the relationship, but you've identified that this person is somebody you no longer want in your life. Many times when that happens, the narcissist will try to get your attention, and I will illustrate many different ways they will try to get your attention and try to draw you back into the relationship. Now you could call these a Hoover if you want. You can call them just the narcissist being a needy creature who needs attention from other individuals, whatever you want to call it, but here we go. So one way that I hear frequently is the narcissist will all of a sudden come down with an illness, or they'll have an accident, or they will be diagnosed with something. Now, I'm not saying that any of these things happened or did happen. I'm saying anything that comes out of the narcissist's mouth, you need to take with a grain of salt. In other words, sometimes they tell you the truth, sometimes they tell you partial truths, no truths, untruths, whatever. But notice the timing. Let's say you're healing or you have healed, and everything's going swimmingly, or you are just about to end the relationship yourself. If you're one of the fortunate, strong, courageous ones, and you've identified that you are in a narcissistic relationship and you're getting the wisdom on my channel, and now you want to remove yourself from that relationship, then what happens is, at times, this individual, the narcissist, will claim that, oh, they just got an illness, or they're not feeling well, or they just went into the hospital, or etc. Now, think about what I'm sharing with you. Are those issues and concerns yours these days? I don't believe they are. Because think about when you were in the relationship with the narcissist. Did they try to support you? Were they there when you were in the hospital or you were ill or sick? Maybe, but I doubt it. Remember, many times the narcissist does not want it to be anywhere around a hospital or around an individual who is not doing well or who is sick. This is exactly because the narcissist is a self-centered individual. And it's also because now that when the tables have turned, let's zoom in again. Let's say that they claim that they have an illness or they broke a bone or something. Well, now they expect the sympathy train to be rolling, and they expect you to be the conductor of the sympathy train. In other words, they want you there to baby them, to pamper them, to make them feel like they are needed, to give them love or adoration, or certainly to be a sounding board. Now, this will flip on a dime. Believe me when I tell you. If the narcissist is successful and they can draw you back into a relationship, even for a period of time, in other words, that when they are trying to get you to need them, or they want you to need them, if this works even for a little bit of time, what happens is now you are susceptible to falling back into that relationship deeper and deeper. In other words, what you do is you perhaps will see a human side of these individuals, and you will be empathetic, and you'll say, wow, I really did nurse them back to health, or they really were sick, or they really were having challenging times, and now actually they're not that bad. And remember, this is what the narcissist wants. They want you to fall for them. They want you to give them your empathy. They want you to be there for them. Now remember, many times the narcissist will claim that they have a diagnosis or something's gone sideways. You need to take it with a grain of salt. It may be true, it may not be true. I'm not here to make any judgment at all about anything. I'm just giving you information and wisdom that the narcissist needs people. You do not need people. And this is a clear illustration. So let's say that, again, you have removed yourself from the relationship. Say the narcissist is your parent or sibling. Okay, well, you blocked them, gone no contact, deleted them, removed all flying monkeys and people associated with them. Maybe you moved halfway around the country or the globe. Okay, well, now you're putting your life back together. Everything is going fine, or it's about to be going fine. What happens? Many times you'll get an email or a phone call, or a flying monkey or somebody will contact you and say that family member, things just took a turn for the worse. And you are expected to drop everything you're doing, go back to where they are, and comfort them. Now, when you go back there, what are they really thinking? I can speculate. I believe that what they'll be thinking is, yep, got them again. They can't break free from me. Now, I will keep them here, and I will claim that I am injured or sick, or I will try to extract more resources from them. And remember, resources don't have to be love or empathy. It can be time, the most precious commodity on the planet, because you can't get time back. That's my take, and I stand by it. But this is what happens so frequently. And remember, if you're a member of a narcissistic family, and you've identified it, you will now know most likely you are the white sheep or the black sheep, whatever you want to call yourself. In other words, you are most likely one of the few, if not the only individual who has a high level of empathy or a high level of love within you. And you most likely had your family pitted against you throughout your whole life until you finally figured it out that, wow, everything I do, it's never good enough. No matter how much money I give or how many rides to the hospital or the airport I do or how many birthday gifts I provide, it's never good enough. These people always want more, more, and more. And the expectations get higher and higher. They sincerely do. Remember, the moving goalpost in a narcissistic relationship is just that. Nothing is ever good enough. What you did for them yesterday or last week or the last 30 years, it will be thrown out the window. All they care about is the here and the now. And that will never change. It's the way the narcissist is built. They're built on living for the moment, not living in the present moment as you are. In other words, let's say that you went on a vacation. Well, what was your plan on the vacation? Well, you wanted to go experience a different part of the world and to just decompress and be. That's not what the narcissist wanted. They wanted a daily to-do list, a long agenda list of things to accomplish. They were probably waking up super early out of the bedroom and or the quarters of the Airbnb long before you, and then they gave you a whole bunch of things to do. But you couldn't just be. That's why vacations frequently are blown up by the narcissist. But how the narcissist draws you in, here's another one. Let's say that they claim that they have just run across some money. They just inherited some money, or they have a good job or whatever. Well, they may just say to you, hey, you know what? I can provide A, B, and C for you. Why don't you just come over and, you know, we'll rekindle the relationship, whatever relationship it is. And you, perhaps you don't have the most money, and you've leaned on them in the past for financial resources, and yes, this does happen. And then you're like, some time's gone by. Maybe they're not that bad. They're offering some resources. And you get there, and yeah, sure, maybe they buy you dinner or a shirt or something. But then here we go again. You now dipped your toe into the narcissistic relationship. And the narcissist, this is how they wanted you to need them. This is exactly how they played on your heartstrings. This is exactly how they weaponized their money against you to draw you back into the relationship. This is how the narcissist draws individuals back in. Remember, you are always going to be susceptible to be drawn back into the narcissistic relationship until you get the wisdom, A. B, you understand that this individual is not going to change. They're incapable of change. And C, you apply the wisdom, which means now you have boundaries. Now you are no longer a people pleaser. You can say no, the strongest word in the English language. You can say yes to what you want to do and no to what you don't want to do, and you don't feel guilty. You now have understood that you've been through a lot in this thing called life, and no longer will you be bounced around like a yo-yo or taken up and down like a yo-yo or pushed in and out and sideways. That was the old version of you when you didn't have the wisdom on the narcissistic abusive cycle. But keep this in mind. Another side note is, if you don't block the narcissist, if you have the ability to do so and you don't block them, you will be susceptible to being drawn back into the relationship, because anything can happen. Any email can happen, any text, any correspondence, any phone call. Example, they could weaponize a child against you, saying, oh, so-and-so's not doing too well, they really miss you. Although so-and-so, whoever that individual is, most likely is brainwashed by now, and they're just trying to use that person against you to get you to fall back into the relationship because they know you care about that person so much. Think about what I'm sharing with you. You will be susceptible to being drawn back into these relationships until you really get the message, which is your energy is meant for yourself. Your empathy is meant for those who deserve it. Your love is meant for people who can reciprocate it or are worthy of receiving your love. You don't just give to a fault anymore. You don't just give because you possess these attributes. You give when you want to. And remember, if your cup is not full, which means if you're not feeling its best as you possibly can, you really need to slow things down, recharge your battery, get your cup full, and then you can contribute back to those loved and trusted ones around you and or society. But how the narcissist will try to draw you back in, there are so many different ways. There are many ways. Another way is this. Let's say you relocated. I mentioned this recently in a video. You relocated to a different state. Well, lo and behold, the narcissist found out where you lived. What did they do? Maybe they sent you some gifts. Maybe they sent you some heirlooms. Maybe they sent you a package of some of their perfume or clothes that they used to wear. They're trying to draw you back in. Same thing with social media. This is a classic also. Maybe they post pictures of the two of you on social media. Maybe they post pictures of locations or memories of when you two were together. Maybe they post pictures of themselves. And this is all meant to get your head spinning, to keep you trapped in that zombie-like, trance-like state, the narcissistic fog, where you can't move forward. They want to keep you stuck living in those times of the past. That's what they want. And believe me when I tell you, when the narcissist gets bored and jaded and you happen to cross their mind for whatever reason, if they feel inclined to attempt a Hoover or to draw you back into the relationship, believe me when I tell you, that's what they will do. Why? Because they don't know if you have healed. They don't know if you've done the heavy lifting. They don't know if you've done the work. They don't know if you actually understand who they are. And if you do get any of those light bulb moments along the way and you finally break through and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, Andrew's right. This relationship never served me. It only benefited one person, and it definitely wasn't me. When you understand these things and you actually say that, wow, my life is now about to be very clear, very clearly illustrated by my own determination. I am no longer going to be like a puppet on a string doing what the narcissist wants me to do. I'll be doing what I want, when I want, with whom I want. And my time, my energy, my love, empathy, everything is extremely valuable. I will reserve that for those who deserve it. When you get that message, then the narcissist literally becomes small. They become tiny. And you actually, at times, honestly, you look at them as pathetic, weak, cowards, bullies, childish. You look at them as people that are pitiful. I'm being totally blunt with you. If you're not there yet, that means you have more healing to do. And remember, not each and every person feels the exact same way about other individuals. I'm sharing my wisdom with you. That's how I look at these people, because there is no excuse for their poor behavior, number one. Number two, they can turn it on and off whenever they want to. In other words, they can turn the charm on whenever they want to, and they can decide to throw a rage fit whenever they want to, but they expect people to tolerate their poor behavior all along the way, and they're not going to be accountable. They're going to blame shift and say it was your fault. That's the reason they had a rage fit. So when you really get the message, when you really reach the pinnacle of indifference, that mountaintop of indifference, that's when you understand, holy cow, I was through hell and back, but I made it. I am so fortunate and grateful. I am here. I am on the planet one more day, and I'm contributing to the betterment of this place. And I do not need any narcissist or any toxic individual to try to tear me down, to try to steal my energy or any of my resources. That's the message. So before I close the video, remember, you do not want to accept a Hoover, number one. Number two, you do not want to be susceptible to being drawn back into the relationship. Number three, that relationship never served you in the past. Did you have some good times? Probably. Did you have more challenges than good times? Absolutely. Did it almost take you out? Did your health take a hit? Your bank account take a hit? Your social circle take a hit? Your mental clarity take a hit? Your spirituality take a hit? Yes, to all of those. So why would you go back for another round? You wouldn't. You're getting the wisdom. You need to apply it. If not now, when? So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. Guys, don't be susceptible to being drawn back into the narcissistic relationship. It's not good. The narcissist needs people. You do not need people. When I say that, it's good to have friends and romantic interests and relationships and families. I get it all. But you need to be alone with yourself to learn about yourself. That's something the narcissist doesn't want to do. They want to continue to jump from person to person in this thing called life and destroy people in their wake of devastation. That's what they want to do. And that was you at one point. Don't let it happen again. Have boundaries and go no contact. Begin today. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. Oh, I hope you like the location. New location. Bye.